Hi, my name is Ted Meissner, and welcome to Mindfulness Voyage. This is going to be an exploration of what mindfulness might mean to you in your life. We'll hear from teachers, authors, researchers, other practitioners on how mindfulness has made a difference to them in their lives, and what does the latest science and research say about mindfulness, what it can mean to you. You may have come to this podcast through a couple of my other audio podcasts, and if so, welcome. Good to see you. Glad you could join us today. And you're wondering why have a video podcast and why now? One of the main things that I want to do with this is share mindfulness more broadly. And this is another opportunity to do so and maybe deepen the connections we've had by being able to see one another. The fact is, mindfulness has gone mainstream. It's been there for many years now. But the understanding of it, what it means, and how it works is still a little confusing to many of us who are even working in the field, let alone the general public, folks who only know mindfulness from hearing about it or maybe downloading a short guided meditation. The fact is, mindfulness means a lot of different things to different people. And that's a good thing. It means that mindfulness is connecting with people in a variety of ways. And that just shows there's strength in that diversity of how mindfulness can be meaningful to each of us. Your journey can be different than mine or anyone else's. And this podcast series is about that exploration of what mindfulness can be to you. Whether you're new to this and you don't know really anything about mindfulness, you haven't tried it before, but you're curious, welcome. This is the right spot for you. It may be that you're someone who has decades of practice experience and you just want to hear about the latest research or hear another voice talking about something that is very meaningful to you. This is also the right spot for you. And what you hear here may be a little bit different than how you've been practicing and understanding mindfulness. Again, that's okay. That's part of the strength of mindfulness, is learning, exploring what it might mean. The door is open. And that's the intent of this podcast. The door is open both ways, outside in the world, out there of mindfulness, but also inside. What does it mean to come inside and explore a little bit more what's in you and how mindfulness can broaden and deepen that awareness and that experience? My aspiration with this podcast is that you get something out of each episode. It might not be every single episode. Some may be more meaningful to you than others. But whether it's me talking about a particular aspect of mindfulness or talking with a guest, bringing their rich knowledge and experience to bear, I hope this is meaningful to you and that you're able to perhaps even connect with others in the comments and share. What is this for you? That's a really important question, that what is this? What do we mean by mindfulness? As I said, it's a lot of different things to a lot of different people. So what does it mean here in terms of this podcast? So what do we mean by mindfulness? Again, lots of different definitions, but for here, in 2005, there's a paper called Mechanisms of Mindfulness. Shauna Shapiro, Linda Carlson, Benedict Friedman, and John Aston, not that John Aston, although I understand he's a meditator too, came up with the IAA model. It involved 3 different aspects of mindfulness. I stands for intention. Instead of being on automatic pilot, we're making a choice, and we know we're making that choice. The second A stands for awareness, and that has to do with being here now. I'm intentionally choosing to experience this moment, the one that's happening right now, whether it's sensations through my 5 senses, awareness of thoughts, whatever it happens to be that's happening right now. I'm aware of that. Now, if it's just those two, it's a very dry kind of awareness, and not mindfulness as we're going to be talking about it in this podcast. There's a third component. That second A, the third part of the IAA model, is attitude. Now, that attitude can be a lot of different things. Jon Kabat-Zinn has shared in a few different ways that mindfulness is intentionally paying attention to present moment experience non-judgmentally. And that word, non-judgmentally, has gotten, solidified into the lexicon of mindfulness. But it's not just that non-judgmental attitude of curiosity. It may be whatever attitude is appropriate in that moment. And there are lots of different ways that can show up too. It might be non-judgment. It might be beginner's mind. It might be patience, trust, non-striving, acceptance, letting go, a whole bunch of different attitudes, depending on what's happening in this particular moment. And that's all well and good, and for scientific research, can still be kind of vague. Nicholas Van Dam and others wrote a paper about minding the hype, and one of the things that was shared in that paper is that there is no consistent definition of what mindfulness is, at least at the time of that writing. It may be different sometime in the future, but for now, using that IAA model is what we're going to do here. Well, that's enough for our inaugural episode of Mindfulness Voyage. If you liked this, be sure to share it with others. You know what to do. And I'd like to hear from you in the comments too. What would you like to see in this? And until next time, and by the way, that next time we will be speaking with Wendy Kwan about bringing mindfulness into the workplace. So if you haven't done that and you're interested in it, be sure to tune in for that. Or if you're already teaching mindfulness in the workplace, there might be some new things for you to learn there. Wendy is an excellent teacher, and I'm so glad she agreed to be a guest on this podcast. So until next time, remember, every moment you have a choice. Make it the best you can. See you next time.